Hey guys, and welcome to the Natty Blueprint podcast. This is episode 4. We're joined by another special guest today, the king of rubdowns himself, Mr. Daniel Marshall. How you doing, my man?
Hello, hello. Very good.
So, do you
Welcome.
want to give the people a little bit of an introduction to yourself, what you do for a living, how you've got to where you are now, and then we'll just take things from there, mate.
Yeah, so like every other human in the world, I'm also an online coach. Kind of went into the industry, down the bodybuilding route. I've kind of tailed a little bit away from that, but yeah, so I'm a sports therapist, online coach, and yeah, do a little bit of PTing. But yeah, just essentially getting people in shape, helping their injuries. That's what I do.
Cool, cool.
How long have you been doing that for in total?
So coaching, basically the same year as Max, 2019 I started, and
He
then
copied me. He saw me do it,
I
and
don't know, I
he was
don't know.
like,
We did the same prep. We
yeah.
literally prepped at the same time, didn't we?
Yeah, and then you bottled the show
Um,
you were meant to do. Well, I was meant to smoke you, and then
don't know about
and
that. I
then
got first place trophy, so
you with no one else in the class. Come on.
first and last. So it's
I
winning
got
really.
I got beat
Amazing.
by Bruno, so it doesn't really matter. He would have smoked all of us.
Yeah, true.
Absolute freak.
And then yeah, sports. I finished uni about 2 years ago and straight in at Muscle Hut, Ashford. So kind of got a bit of touch of luck with that because I was already working there, and then yeah, it was kind of all slotted together. Luck, whatever, however you want to call it, it's panned out.
Yeah,
Luck and hard work, I think.
Yeah, good concoction. The
Yeah,
harder I work, the luckier I get.
funny that.
yeah. But obviously, you went to uni, didn't you? What did you study at uni?
I did sport therapy and rehabilitation. I originally went to do computer science and couldn't get on with anyone on the course, so I a little bit of static there.
Yeah,
Sod
Yeah,
that.
I think that was Denny.
Yeah,
uh,
I couldn't get on with anyone on the computer science course. They just weren't my sort of people, and yeah, so I dropped out. I, it was, to be honest, I was trying to please my parents, I think, because they obviously wanted for me to go down like
the normal
the
job route.
skillful route. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, just bit the bullet,
I
dropped
mean,
out, and then had a year off, prepped, then enrolled on the sport therapy course.
What
you've
are
always
your
been self-employed as well, haven't you? I know you had like jobs in the past when you were younger, but you've always pretty much been self-employed
Yeah,
the
pretty well.
whole route.
From 16 to 20, I was a lifeguard, and then yeah, straight self-employed. So
nice.
Big
So your
steps
your
when you're
parents
20.
support you now with your decision?
no, not at all.
Okay.
No, they can't
That's
not
yeah.
really.
So when it comes to obviously you competed 2019, where you did the same prep as me, and then you competed again in 2022, didn't you, as a
Yeah,
junior?
yeah. I mean, that one was a bit. I was very much from 20. As soon as I come out of that prep, it was very much right. Let's. It was all about that coming back as a junior, and although I put on a lot of muscle and looked a lot better, realistically, I just weren't good enough. And well, I mean, the show I did as a junior was the BMBF Midlands, which is just always a stacked show. I think because it's Birmingham's just at that point where it kind of draws everyone together. It's got a good location, really. But yeah, I think that the top three came top three in the British finals. So I just picked a really probably the worst show to go to mentally because obviously you do bodybuilding for yourself, don't you? But I obviously wanted to get a place in and
Yeah.
didn't get a place in, so I sulked, and I've been sulking ever since.
So you started prep this week, didn't you?
Yeah, start prep.
Secret prep. That's not
Secret
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 prep.
anymore.
prep. No, I'm
It's
just
funny
doing a
actually.
little diet, no preps.
That's
We
We'll
all,
get
see.
you
that's how all your diets
get you
start,
men's
and that's
physique
how all your
in
preps
shorts.
start anyway. Just a
Yeah,
little
true.
diet. It's funny actually because I got a few questions from people asking about like, have you got any more plans to compete again? Is it something that you potentially will do in the future?
Honestly, no. It's bodybuilding. It takes so much, doesn't it? It takes so much of your life. Not even necessarily in time because So I'm fortunate enough where I can kind of map out my day. So realistically, if anyone can bodybuild, it's me, because I can choose when my clients and I can basically map out an ideal day for me. And yeah, it's the energy. It sucks the life out of me. And there's definitely some unfinished business, but right now in my life, it's not going to benefit me. Putting myself for a prep, compromising my health potentially as well. So yeah,
I mean, you
not
can still do everything bodybuilding, put on muscle, get stronger, etc., and not do that. Obviously, it is that extreme end of it, and if it's at a detriment to your life or your relationship or whatever it is, there's not really any point in doing it if you're happy with what you're doing currently.
Yeah, exactly. I'm hearing that static again, by the way.
Yeah, we're getting that static again.
We
Jesus.
know who it is. I'm gonna mute me.
Oh, Denny, it's you.
You
might
got
have to
speakers?
go get your AirPods, mate, and that might be a little bit better.
Now the AirPods will be worse because they're fucked. The only thing I think it is my phone's causing interference.
Oh,
Is that better?
sorry about the technical difficulties, everyone. Hopefully, Riverside just completely blocks it out. To be fair, it seems like a good software where it just removes any type of background, because my computer sounds like it's going to blow up the whole podcast.
I've just yeeted my phone across the room, so if that was causing interference,
Cool.
that's gone.
Well, I suppose
Yeah.
then we'll jump straight into questions, as that was a fairly quick introduction of Mr. Marshall. By the way, me and Denny both go see Dan for rub downs, so if you are interested in a rub down, he's very good at it. Sometimes he'll actually pay you to rub you down, so that's what he does to
Yeah,
me.
but
He
not
comes
paid
over to
me
me,
yet.
gives me 30 quid, says, Max, come on, I'll rub your legs up for you. Just come in on Tuesday.
I need a bit of a rub down. My legs are shot.
get yourself booked in, mate.
I've booked in.
Get yourself booked in.
Link in the bio.
Okay, so Dan, I'll go through your questions first, mate, and then I'll jump on some of the podcast questions. I'm just gonna select a few because you've got quite a few, so I'm gonna select the best ones, and we'll see how we're doing on time. So Luke Gent asks, always to failure, 16 to 12 rep range, or mix it up sometimes 15 to 20 hypertrophy as the goal.
What were those two rep ranges?
So he's saying either stay in the 6 to 12 or mix it up.
I'll take this one first of all. Yeah, never ever go to 15 to 20. No, personally, all of and with my clients, so not personally, I will pretty much always program within 5 or even 4 or 5 reps to 12, kind of the most. The odd sets maybe up to 15. We're never doing a 15 to 20. And as hypertrophy the goal, the reason why I wouldn't do that is the muscle damage side. When us three got into this industry, it was all about mechanical tension, muscle damage, and then metabolic stress. Now that's just been refined now more just to mechanical tension, and actually the opposite, where we used to think that muscle damage was what we wanted, is now not what we want. Which even back then, realistically, we should have been able to work that out, because with more damage, more fatigue, less performance, you can output less, lift less load, progress less. I mean, pretty much everything that you don't want. Same goes for even away from training. And if you're looking at what you do at your cardio, you want your cardio that's you're going to burn plenty of calories, yeah, but also that's not going to fatigue you. It's not going to put you in the bin, because that's then going to affect your lifting, which is going to either retain, obviously in a deficit, you're going to retain more muscle, or even build muscle if you're a freak.
Yeah, I think another thing to probably add on to that is when you're going over 15 reps, it's hard to standardize form. It's hard to standardize those reps. Like a lot of people, when they go kind of plus 12, to be honest, lose that composure within the set, and they kind of start to panic a little bit and just rush the set, which therefore their kind of form goes in the bin and lose all control of the set. So Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with that. I
I'd
mean,
say potentially the only reason you'd want maybe not upwards of 20, but if your client is quite new into training, if they don't have that skill to send it on just a six repper as an example, because they
yeah,
might do 6 reps, but they might be leaving so much in the tank where it's probably better suited for them to do
Yeah,
a slightly higher rep range. So I think there is a bit of context to that, but same,
yeah,
I'd always go on a lower end of things.
yeah.
maybe,
Maybe more so with more volume with
In the
newbies
sets,
and more
yeah,
sets as
yeah,
opposed to going 15. Well,
more reps,
yeah,
yeah.
20 plus.
yeah,
But we all
agree.
like a nice pump as well, so I think there is also enjoyment to it to factor
Yeah,
in.
yeah, 100%.
If you
Yeah,
enjoy
I
doing
mean,
that,
if you're enjoying doing 20 reps, weirdo, not like
it might
me.
not be the best, but you're still going to grow. Maybe just
Yeah,
not
I
as much.
mean, realistically, how much more fatigue are you going to get from doing a set of 15 to failure as opposed to a set of 8 to failure?
Yeah,
More,
that's something
yeah,
that I
more,
I,
but
I kind of question is obviously there is that data there, but obviously with the load exposure of going for a lower rep set, there's technically more load on you. So that in I don't know what the sort of trade-off is, but more load is more fatigue, and then more reps is more fatigue. So which one takes
yeah.
the front?
Well, that in itself has changed as well. Just like the muscle damage, mechanical potential, that little trifecta. Also, we used to used to get told that lower rep or heavier loads would be more fatiguing, more
Yeah,
stress on your central nervous system. Whereas now it's the
it's the
opposite.
way
So
round. Yeah,
that's why you always never be so binary. No, it's not black and white. Although bodybuilding, a lot of content around it is very black and white. This is right. This is wrong.
yeah,
Reality, you could be wrong in 10 years. So
yeah.
maybe shut up.
I think just trying it for yourself as well, see what you
Yeah,
get on with at the end of the day.
I would also add, like, sometimes it's just fucking cool. Like, when you do a hack or a pendulum, you do that for 20 plus reps. Like, it's cool. Like, not a lot of people can do that. Not a lot, like I said in my point, like, not a lot of people can withstand that composure within the set to be able to do that and take it all the way there. You find a lot of people, then they do high rep stuff, they don't actually take it all the way to failure because they lose
Yeah,
that brace pattern.
because
So it
they
yeah.
is
shit
cool
out a
if they
lung
do
as
it.
well.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
another thing. That's a great point actually with the higher rep stuff. It's so much easier to fall short when you've got a heavy load on you and you're trying to get 6 7 reps. You're going to be pretty close to failure,
Yeah,
and you're spending less time doing that as well, and less fatigue as we've been
yeah,
through. But
yeah. The
yeah,
cardio comes into play, and your ability to actually stay locked in for 20 reps
yeah,
comes into
and
play
also
as well.
just maths. Like
Yeah,
if you're doing 6 reps or 20 reps, who do you and you didn't know anything else, you'd probably say, yeah, he's probably closer to failure because he's done less reps
yeah.
because he's had less kind of, or he's got more load on him. So,
Yeah.
I got another question. Well, this is from Daniel James. He's asked, "Go ham on chiropractors, please."
um, no, I don't. I don't want to. No,
Do it.
yeah, they've definitely got their places. Unfortunately, in the industry, the injury world that I'm in, there's probably even more so poor practice, poor professionals, probably even more than the online coaching world. Might not be true,
Mm,
but honestly, there's a lot of people that use big words. They speak like they know what they're talking about, and they actually don't. And yeah, and it's very easy to get fooled by them. And chiropractors, although there is a lot of great chiropractors, there's also a lot of crap ones. So they do get themselves a bad name, I'd say.
to my knowledge, they're not backed by the NHS either, are they?
No,
In any way.
some even say that it's a
Not that that
placebo
means anything, but
science. Yeah, true.
I mean,
But
I will say this: I've been to chiropractors in the past, um, and I have found they've helped. Whether that
yeah,
is through placebo or whether that's through it actually has helped. I think it depends on the person who's doing it. Oh, so if you're going in and they're literally just cracking you about, I don't think that's going to help you at all. But if they do multiple things, like maybe a little bit of a deep tissue, and then manipulate you a little bit after, I
Yeah.
found that kind of helps a bit more.
Yeah, there's actually kind of a bit of research that's come out recently in on the chiropractor field is all these all that kind of the assessments they do. They're like, oh yeah, your C1's out, you see, or your pelvis is twisted. That like all that assessment stuff that they do means absolutely nothing compared to just cracking their back. Which is funny, which kind of points it even more so to the placebo side, the fact that the crack. So essentially, if people don't know this, a crack, or if you do your knuckles or anything like that, it's just gas in your joint equalizing. So you've got a little bubble, you've got synovial fluid in each joint, and then when you crack them, that's the pressure that bubble just equalizing, and it makes a noise. So in your back, if once you've had all these cracks from a chiropractor, you're probably going to feel a sense of relief. You're going to feel because the state within your back has changed, and without going into like the neurological side, but just think from where it was when you came in to where it's left, it's in a different state, and that can feel positive because it feels different. If you're in pain and then something's different, you associate that with feeling better, and then also if you didn't have that fact and you think you're going to benefit from an appointment and you walk out, that in itself you're going to benefit from that appointment.
Yeah.
So it's hard. There is some great chiropractors. The good chiropractors actually are stepping away from the hands-on stuff, and even me, I'm never massive on the kind of the hands. I'm obviously massive on the hands-on stuff, but I will also always give my what you should be doing within the gym, how you should be adapting your training. If you come to me with pain and I just give you a massage and I give you absolutely nothing else, that I haven't done my job there.
Yeah, because there needs to be that background knowledge of what's got them into that pain. What can you do outside of it, not just giving you a quick rub down and be like, yeah, on you go.
Yeah, I mean, a good rule of thumb, any passive treatment, so that's massage, acupuncture, manipulations, cracks, anything like that. If that's all that's happening, it's a perfect analogy actually. It's like taking supplements and not having your diet and your training sorted. Brilliant.
Yeah.
You're getting these 1%, a little bit of blood flow, maybe a little bit of movement, fantastic. You walk out feeling better. What are you doing with your training? What are you doing with your recovery, your sleep? Like there's you're missing out on so much.
It's like putting on a plaster if you've had your arm cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Right, I've got another question then. Fitness with Ferrari. I'm assuming these are all your followers.
Yeah, that's James. He's my client.
One of your clients,
James.
Big
Does he have a
James.
Ferrari?
Does he have a Ferrari?
He doesn't know.
It's a fraud.
Mate, you have to tell him it. You have to change his Instagram handle. That's terrible. Is his surname James Ferrari?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, his surname is Ferrari.
we'll let him off then.
Oh, okay. I'll let him off. He could add like fitness with J Ferrari. What's your favourite part about bodybuilding process, e.g., bulk cut being on stage? So, I don't know. I'll answer it quickly. For me, it's all of it because I think it all works. Like the overall process, right, is either you're bulking or you're cutting. Like you're either dieting or you're pushing up body weight. There's no real middle ground unless you're maintaining. Majority of the time, if you're maintaining, I would argue you're wasting time if your goal is to put on muscle. But yeah, that is the whole process. Like I think there's joys to both ends, right? Like when you're gaining body weight, you feel great, your lifts are going up, training's really, really good. But then obviously you're getting fatter. And then kind of vice versa of that is when you're dieting, you look good, but maybe your training isn't great and it's also hard. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, pretty much the same. Obviously, there is that wow factor to when you get lean. So, oh, this looks cool. You get a little bit of a pump that lasts for 5 minutes and you like how you look. And then after that, you hate it. And then on the flip side, pushing food up, you might get a little bit soft. Digestion might take a hit. You get a bit sluggish. You've then got to mentally switch on with the push up as well because you're not seeing that progress in the physique as much. You're mainly going towards like the performance side of things. So yeah, me personally, from a productivity standpoint, I prefer the dieting side because you
Yeah.
just get like laser focused with everything. Your routine's in check. You're very sensitive to just stimulants in general. Just in my opinion, you just come a little bit wired, and yeah, you just sort of, I don't know, you lock in a little bit. Whereas there is the tendency to get a little bit sloppy when you're pushing up.
Yeah, I think that can be with the carbs, and when you got all the carbs in the world, yeah, bit of brain fog, bit of
Yeah.
lacking concentration maybe. I probably would say I prefer the cut, to be honest. I like that end goal every day, striving, but then equally I love eating food and lifting some heavy weights. In the gym, yeah, in the gym obviously it's always going to be the bulk.
Yeah.
Outside the gym, it's not bulking, it's cutting.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I've got another question. Dom's Grant, what problems do you face daily in the fitness industry?
Where do we start? Well,
I
there's
feel like me
the
and Denny have kind of answered this one with our pet
yeah.
peeves
It's just
podcast.
yeah. There's a
But
lot of shit on
Dan,
social media. So
what
Dan, you
Yeah,
what
go.
do you
it's
face?
good. I think I covered a good one that things are very like binary. And reality, there's so much that you've probably got to ask about 30 questions before you actually, regardless of the question, you need 30 other questions of context to actually properly answer that. Like how many protein feedings to have in a day. You'd have a video where someone's like, this is wrong and this is right.
It
There's,
depends.
there's so much that
It
goes to
depends.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, when in bodybuilding, yeah, aside from the fitness industry, I'd say the actual bodybuilding, I'd just say with how extreme things are probably, and the food culture is horrendous. Like the binge eating, like that. That's probably the biggest issue.
Yeah, that is an issue. I'd also say
That we've
like in the
all
fitness.
definitely experienced.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
experienced that as well, mate.
Yeah,
I'd also say probably another issue is just people not being authentic. Like they're not being themselves. Like how many times have you met someone in person and they've been completely different to what they've been on like a YouTube video or what they've been like on their Instagram or whatever, and you're just like, this is not the person I thought I was meeting, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that's where like a competitive industry, they're trying to get more likes, more views, things like that. So naturally, it's just a case of you going more extreme with it, and then yeah, you're obviously gonna not present you as you
Yeah.
because
As soon as they
you're
find something
boring
that
or
works, whether it's like viral activity or just clickbait shit, they're just gonna keep funneling into that, and then it just gets worse.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think like one thing I see is like I don't know, like their coaches, and then all of a sudden they'll release a 10,000 calorie cheat meal video on YouTube or whatever. And I'm like, why are you promoting that? Like, that's
Yeah.
obviously not
Like,
healthy. That's not
what is that?
healthy. That's not
Yeah.
something to do. That's not going to help anyone. Obviously, yes, it's entertainment. You've done that for views and clicks and stuff, but it's probably not going to really reflect you and your coaching well. So,
What I'd say with if there's any like younger coaches or coaches that are listening that are trying to go from part time to full time or whatever, if you're trying to scale that, stop caring so much about going viral or trying to hit the moon. Because I spent so much time trying to make these clicky, like you're trying to create relationships with people so they want to be coached by you. So putting good content out, if that's entertaining, great. Get your personality. I like to put that in because that's how I am, or I try to anyway. Don't always hit. But yeah, like you, doesn't matter how many, like if you're getting hundreds of thousands of views, if no one's paying for your coaching, if no one's invested in you, doesn't matter. If they're just there because they're like, oh, he's funny, okay, sick. Like if they're
Yeah.
not invested, if they don't think you're a good coach, then they're not gonna. So you need to focus more on your social proof, get showing everyone this is what I do, these are results. People actually I actually work with real human beings who think that I'm actually an all right coach. Show them that, And then also with your other content that you can, I mean, don't get me wrong, you've got to put some stuff out there that's going to drag
Yeah.
more people in, but focus genuinely about 70% of your content, I would say, on that, on showing people what you do, showing people, helping people for free, giving them free advice, stuff like that, because that's what's going to build you a business. You're not going to build a business from getting a million views on one TikTok, and even if, say, amazing, you get 1 million views on this video, you get a couple inquiries. They're probably going to be shit inquiries. They're probably going to be people that won't stick on very long. They're not going to be people that are invested in you because they've seen you once. They've seen you on this one video. I would stop striving for that and just focus more on building a business.
Yeah, people buy into personality. They buy into you. They don't buy into, like, realistically, we're all coaches. We can probably all admit we all probably do very, very similar stuff. We all give nutrition plans, all give training plans. But people buy into you and what you're capable of and your personality. So yeah, don't focus too much on like the marketing side of things first. Like, focus on actually becoming a decent coach.
Yeah, because you can't learn it the other way around.
Yeah, I still can't learn.
You've got a client, so you can't coach people if you don't. You've got to have a client base to coach.
Yeah.
So you've got to learn how to kind of be a businessman, I suppose, at the same time. But it doesn't matter. Like
if you're showing your knowledge, you're showing your training, you're showing what you're about, you're going to get that anyway. You don't need to necessarily market that in any way. It should come naturally if you know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I think you keep
so Dom's Grant also asked, what do you think is missing? But I think we kind of covered that within that question anyway, so I don't think we'll respond to that one. But there's another one from Jake Shorter. Does muscle soreness mean you've trained correctly, or is that a common misconception?
Misconception.
Yeah, it's a common misconception. I will also add, if you're not sore at all, I don't think you're training hard enough. That's what I'd say. If you're waking up the next day and you've got zero soreness at all, I don't think you trained hard enough.
But then on the flip side of that, if you're constantly sore and you can't move, you're doing probably something a little bit too extreme, to the point where, are you getting the most out of it?
Yeah, and it could also be down to like hydration and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, soreness could, you can go for you can run a marathon and you'll be really sore. You haven't gained any muscle there, have you? So yeah, it usually comes from novelty, doing something new, potentially doing too much volume. If I know you guys spoke about max recoverable volume the other week, and one thing I'd like to add on to that essentially is, obviously, when your maximum recoverable volume is where you're trying to find that sweet spot where you're not sore going into your next session. However, just because you don't feel sore doesn't mean your performance is not going to be negatively affected. So that's all I'd say on the kind of using that model, which I don't know if I suppose I kind of do use it to a point, because I know if I feel absolutely fine, maybe I'll push it. Generally, I'll just make a training plan and I've balanced the exercises out, and I've put if I've got weak areas, I'll put that earlier on in the session. I'm not going to be periodizing volume by adding more sets. And I think if you are doing that, you're probably going to be more sore, and potentially could be start running into performance issues where you're not progressing your lifts, and you are just sore always.
Yeah, I'd also say as well, your MRV will change depending on the phase you're in as well. Obviously, if you're a bit heavier, you've got more food in, your recovery is going to be better. Therefore, you can probably recover from a little bit more. But it's not like gargantuous amounts of more volume. It's not like I can go in and do 10 sets on a leg press. We're talking very, very small additions.
German volume training, bro.
Yeah.
I've not seen these Germans.
He's also asked, why do you have no hair?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I messaged him saying, can you ask some proper questions?
That's
Why do
hilarious.
you have no hair, Dan?
I've been bald for probably about 2, 3 years now.
I briefly joined you on that
Yeah, what's going on? Why are you growing out again? I'm actually annoyed by that.
because it's grown back. It's not perfect, but I've grown so much hair back. It's mad. I think a lot of it was stress, but by me shaving it, I
Be
didn't want
honest, it's
just
good.
gear. It's just gear.
Don't say that. UK might be watching this. You never
Yeah,
know.
just so everyone knows,
You're getting urine sampled
we're
straight
all
away.
paid actors, and none of this is true. But yeah, like
Um,
just me shaving it off and me not worrying about it, I think that was the biggest help. But yeah,
mad, isn't
but
it?
at least
My
It
I
does
know
hair.
I
look a lot
can.
better though. It looks a
At
lot
least I
better
know I
your hair
can
now.
rock the ball look, or at least I didn't mind that much.
What
Maybe no one
what have
else
you
did.
been using for growing the hair? Have you been using anything
So
extra?
I did as soon as I shaved it. So for about for about 3 months, it was minoxidil, spray, finasteride, certain like shampoos, biotin, collagen, things like that. For the last probably 45, maybe coming up to 2 months, I've completely stopped doing any of it because I just wanted to see how much of an impact that stuff was actually having. And
Okay.
it seems like not that much of an impact. So, but there's so many other variables at play. I'm not wearing hats as much. I'm not washing my hair as much. I'm not stressed about it. I'm
Yeah.
not, I'm in a pretty healthy position in terms of the phase that I'm in as well. So it's not, yeah. I think there's so many variables at play. I do think it helped, but I think it's just a combination of all of it. So maybe use it, maybe don't if you're thinking about it.
Yeah,
Or just rock
this
the shave
that
look.
is not
Dan, yours is
genuinely
gone,
from
mate.
about
Yours
15.
is too
That
far
was
gone.
Yeah,
yeah, mate. When I was probably when I was 19, it was way too far gone. Then that bodybuilding prep was like, yeah, just shave it a little bit shorter every time. The actual reason, so I was short for years. The reason I went bald was just money. For me to like how my hair looked, I would have to get a haircut. Like 2 weeks was a push. I wouldn't after about 10 days. I wouldn't like how my hair looked,
yeah,
so I'd have to get a fresh skin fade just so I liked how it looked. So and that's like I mean nowadays £20 twenty
yeah,
pound pot a trim,
yeah,
40 quid a month every month, mate. I'm liberated. I'm gone.
yeah.
That 40 quid's going on Perform Way.
Performance
I'm going to
enhancing
touch on
drug.
that a little bit in terms of obviously I dealt with that situation a little bit. I think I've messaged you a few times before I shaved my head as well. Like, at what point did you notice it? Was it ever a big issue, or did you just kind of like, oh, so what? I'm balding or whatever it is, and you just took it off?
Yeah, I don't. My dad's bald, so I don't know if that to me like it was never a massive issue. It was a big part going from cutting my hair short, like getting a skin fade, to then going shaving it myself bald. That
Yeah,
was a big leap. But I think having a secure girlfriend, like she likes my head, so it was never like an
yeah.
insecurity for me or anything. Which yeah, it's nice. I've got other insecurities, so I can.
Well, at least we know your girlfriend likes your head. Um,
Whoa! Thank
fantastic.
you, bud.
Kieran's
Nice one,
asked.
Max.
Uh,
Yeah.
he dropped himself in that one.
That's the
His
title for
girlfriend
this
likes
one.
his head. That's all he said. Kieran's asked, can you talk about more volume equals more muscle, please? I
No,
No.
think no, we're not gonna. K Dog, you're not getting your answer to this one, mate. I
he
think
knows the answer.
Yeah,
There's a line, isn't there? All one thing I would say is everyone in like the lower volume camp, I would probably put myself in that kind of. You're probably not doing low volume. If you so say you do 3x, you're doing a chest. Your first chest day, push day, for example. You got 3 exercises on your chest. You do 2 exercises on that. You think you're doing low volume because you've only done 2 sets. You've got 6 sets in that workout, and you do that twice a week because you're doing low volume, so you can hit the frequency higher. You've got 12 sets a week there. Is 12 sets a week low volume? Probably not. So just because you're doing 2 sets as opposed to 3 sets on some exercises doesn't automatically put you in like this low volume camp. The reason that I prefer to go lower on volume is because I'm bigger on performance. As in, when I say performance, I mean output. So lifting as much weight as possible with good form, boring, etc. To failure or very close to failure. And if I'm doing that for 4 sets in a row, I'm gonna be fucked. And then the next time I go and train that muscle group, I'm not going to be able to perform as much, and therefore my output won't be as high. So if we have a look at it as an average as opposed to just 1 and 1, you're going to be lifting more weight.
Yeah, I agree.
Solid answer.
Okay, so I've got Wilborn's asked a question. Who would win in a cage match out of Dan and Max?
You know it's always good if it's from Wilborn.
I must just be really intimidating, or
I'm
just
gonna
not
let Denny
intimidating
go
at all.
first. Denny, who's your money on? Denny, who's your money on, mate?
My money's on Dan.
Yeah, my money's on Dan as well, to be fair.
Just because
We were saying about this in the gym though, because you used to box, which we didn't know about.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, but
that would have gone.
Actually, no, Dan, you're always injured, bro. You're always in a cast, so I'd just be beating up a cripple.
Yeah,
like,
just like, kick him in the ankle and that'll be in drama.
Beat you with one ankle though. I just
I do as well. Smack that cast around my head and I'm gone.
Yeah. That's what you was doing yesterday, Dan, wasn't it? You was sparring in practice.
Yeah. No, my ankle's good now, so I'll smash you up, Max.
I have no doubt.
I think we should leave it in the comments who's going to win, Dan or Max, and then
definitely Dan, 100%.
And then we'll put it to the test at the end of the month.
Probably quite a bit heavier than you now since Christmas.
Yeah. Also, I'm a lover, not a fighter. I don't fight.
Yeah, I'm a lover as well. I am about 96 kilos now.
Oh, you're heavy now. Yeah, you got about 20 pounds on me at least then.
Yeah. I want to get down to 85 kilos and I'm going to be shredded at that weight and unreal. I can't wait.
Nice.
Good. And then you'll step on stage.
I have to be 75 to get on stage.
Okay, James Linford has asked, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much does Dan enjoy hurting people? This kind of collaborates with the cage match.
No, I don't actually like hurting people. This probably opens up another. Sorry, I do like to ramble. If people don't know, I do like to ramble. So when you're going for a deep tissue massage, everyone wants a lot of pressure. You want to feel like, as always, there's a line. Going harder doesn't necessarily mean better. Especially if it's like causing bruises and things like that. So sometimes I'll have big bodybuilders, well, not just bodybuilders, come in and they're like, "Oh, can you just smash me up?" basically, and I'm like, "You're not gonna get." That sounds awful. You're not gonna get any more benefit from me doing my normal sports massage, from me digging a tool into you or going extra hard and you having loads of pain, because realistically the benefits from a massage, me pressing my thumb harder on you, you're not getting any more benefit from that, are you?
Maybe James likes it hard.
Yeah.
It's because I did James's calves and Achilles, and obviously that's a very sensitive area. I know, like your front delt's another painful one. Yeah, the sensitive areas, probably your calves. If you're having that done, then pain is going to be high, regardless. Sometimes you can just be stroking them, and it's like, ah! I've got really sensitive calves as well, to be fair, so I feel him.
I just don't let you touch my calves because I know it's going to hurt. And I'm like, they're not going to grow anyway. Like, it doesn't matter if one of them goes pop. It they're just there. They might actually look better torn. You never know.
It was like Chris Bumstead's bicep when he won the Olympia.
Yeah,
he had a fuck bicep, looked fine.
It looked fine. Yeah.
Only person who can tear his bicep. I think he did it posing as well. It wasn't even in the gym, or he didn't know he did it in the gym. and he was posing and he noticed it. How can you tear your mental?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Show them gear.
I know Brandon Harding, who I'm now on close friends list on Instagram. I'm basically a
Oh.
hard body athlete.
Oh,
Don't know why. Just randomly added me to his close friends list. So
Weird
hopefully-
flex. He's added everyone. Max. Don't feel special.
does he follow you?
No, of course he doesn't. Hopefully it's going to be like exclusive OnlyFans content or something.
Maybe.
You never
There
know.
you are, guys.
He went
Marketing.
down that. Yeah, he went down that avenue for a bit, didn't he?
He did
Yeah,
go
with
down that
OnlyFans.
avenue.
We've got a new girlfriend every 2 weeks, so
Fucking hell. Anyway, I know he tore his rear delt from posing, which is pretty
Well,
mental.
That's Max never getting sponsored by Brandon Harding now.
That's right. I don't want a hard body
Off the
sponsorship.
close friends list.
Yeah, straight away.
this is a Natty podcast anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so
We
I
don't.
won't fit in. I'll just be,
You'll have to
the proper Natty on the
go on the
team,
dark side.
the true Natty.
And then Dan could be my co-host and not you.
little Uno reverse.
Yeah, we've kind of stabbed ourselves in the foot by calling ourselves the Natty Blueprint.
We can
Because
still have other people on.
we're going to have to cross out Natty and just call it the Blueprint Podcast.
We'll just say that any advice given by these gearheads don't
Yeah,
follow.
just don't. They're big cheats, so just don't listen to them. Oh Jesus, this episode's getting cancelled.
Why are you
straight
having me on there anyway? If this is a Natty podcast,
Yeah, I know you're not Natty anymore. We won't go down that avenue, mate. You don't want to expose
Right.
that to the
really,
world.
not really, by the way, that's a joke.
Gemma has asked if any of you could have changed something from your previous preps, what would it be?
Oh dear. It's a good one, isn't it?
I'm gonna guess because I think I've got this right. Dan, don't start 70 pounds too heavy, and Denny, don't put too much pressure on yourself.
No, just Denny, just stand on stage.
You get on the stage,
Yeah,
mate.
just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely my issue. I was 106 kilos starting my 2022 prep.
What was your
Ridiculous.
stage weight?
77, and
Jesus.
realistically had another 2-3 kilos to come off if I wanted the glutes in.
Yeah, most people do a 20 to 30 pound prep. You did a 20 to 30 kilo prep.
The mad thing is as well is that I probably had less, I suppose you could say, side effects of getting lean than most people when I'd taken off 31 kilos.
Mad.
If I
So,
took
mate,
off
maybe
31
I should do a
kilos,
prep.
Yeah,
if I took off 31 kilos, I'd literally lose all my muscle. It'd just disintegrate.
Yeah, I did well there,
I
didn't I?
don't think I've got 30 kilos to lose. I'd
that
be
is
in
impressive,
negative
though.
numbers.
I did go for a bit of a powerlifting phase in my off season. That's why I got so heavy, was because I was just didn't care. I was squatting like 230 kilos for reps, deadlifting like a madman, bench pressing in people's garages and stuff like that. I wasn't.
Like a
They were the
proper
good old
gearhead.
days.
Yeah, literally. Not optimal. There's me talking about managing your fatigue earlier on.
What
What would you
Gemma's
change?
also
Max?
asked, Dan, are you done with competing? If so, why?
Hang on, Max, you missed out on that one. What
Yeah,
would you
what
change?
would you change?
What would I change?
Yeah.
Not have external stresses in my life that cause too much stress. That's what I would say to that
What
one.
are you tiptoeing around there,
I'm
mate?
tiptoeing around it. No, if I'm honest, like, not put too much pressure on myself. That'd probably be one. Like I've said so many times about this year, I'm not aiming to win a British title or anything. But my last prep was literally like I was so focused on winning that was like all I cared about, and it's kind of like the whole prep was focused on just winning rather than actually doing the prep. So that would be that, and then also, yeah, just being in a better environment, in my personal life. I'll put it that way. Probably a nice way of putting it.
Yeah, stress is massive in a prep. If you've got anything going on, you want to run from that, or it's fight or flight really. You face it, deal with it, or don't.
Yeah,
Because-
so I think that's any advice if you're prepping. Be in a good spot before you start.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very very taxing mentally. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like
Red.
you hear about these like single mums that prep and stuff, and I just think it's mad. Like it's crazy for them to be able to do that because they must be under
Yeah.
so much stress, like working full-time job, you know, single parent, whatever, looking after their kids, and then they've got to go get their steps in, their cardio, they've got to eat their meals, they've got to train. Like it's crazy how
Yeah.
they get all that done. But there is when there's a will, there's a way. You can do it. It just
Yeah.
ideally, if you want to start prep, just be in a good position, and be in a good
And
environment as well.
if you can't follow a plan when you've got loads of food and things like that, good luck. Like
Yeah.
and obviously you've got more motivation, you've got like an end goal, but when you're really lean and you've got to get yourself up and do a fasted stairmaster session or whatever your coach has got for you, good luck. That's all
Yeah.
I'm
Because that
saying.
motivation might not be there towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gone.
Yeah.
Good question from Andy T. Maxwell. This is a good
So,
one. How much money for your used trunks?
ooh, I've got a nice red sparkly pair. They're expensive.
They are
No one
expensive.
speaks about that. Why are they so expensive?
I
Surely
bought a
we can
pair of
undercut that.
I bought a pair of Iron Monkey ones, and I think they were like 50 quid
Yeah,
What?
that's
for a
what I
lot.
got.
Denny, how much are your
Ridiculous.
posing shorts?
Like 60?
Yeah, man, mental for a
But
pair of
that's like
shorts.
10 times the amount of material.
Yeah,
Yeah, true. True. You literally
they
buying
are
a
good
thong
though.
for 50 quid.
We'll say that they are good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain, Dan, why are they so good?
You think on stage or when you're posing that you'd want to like get them off as quick as possible. I was quite happy in my thong,
Yeah.
you
Dan is
know.
wearing them now.
I should have done that. That would have been amazing. We should have prepped that. That would have been class.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
No, they are quite comfortable. I'll give you that. But I don't know how much I'd sell mine for. For Andy, I'll just give him. It'd be for free. He can
I'd
have
break even 50 quid.
break even 50 quid. Oh, funny.
There you go.
They're
And
not
that,
good anyway,
I
so
don't even know if I've actually washed the pair that I wore in 2022. Like, I
is
don't know
that
if
the sell
I don't actually know. Oh no, I gave them to Tom. Oh, sorry, Million Tom. That's
I've been washed in 2 years.
yeah. To be fair, they were the ones that I wore in the morning. I didn't ever wear them post workout. I've got like three
Oh, you've
pairs.
got multiple. Bloody
Yeah, I've
hell.
got three pairs. I've got a pair that I wear after my training sessions, which do get washed. But the morning ones, or the old ones I used to have, which were the morning ones, which I gave to Tom, and which I competed with in 2022, I don't think I washed them. So sorry, Milling Tom.
sorry.
Wilborn's asked me a question. Are you going to coach Mr. Marshall in the future? I don't think Dan is coachable, to be honest.
Not coachable. I'll be there like Max. My forearm hurts. I've just been boxing, and then Max would be like, "Well,
Sack off the boxing.
over."
Yeah, please sack off the boxing.
I do too many sporadic things, and as in like sports, and sometimes I'll be playing football 3, 4 times a week. Sometimes I don't want to play football anymore. So yeah, that's kind of bodybuilding. Definitely put me in a little box with kind of like I'd go and play badminton with my friends in prep, and or they'd message me to go and play with them, and I'd be sitting there like, I've got a leg day tomorrow. That's going to fatigue me, and that's not me at all. And that's when I knew probably
Yeah.
want to pull away from that. But I think if I was going to prep again, I would be more relaxed with that side because it's the only way I could do it and enjoy it. Is if I was just a bit like, yeah, I'm gonna have some more fatigue here and there, but like, yeah, who cares?
You just have
But
to
the
run
answer is
like a
no.
macro approach, wouldn't you, I suppose, and have that flexibility with food as well.
I'm okay with food. I'm quite happy to be quite strict with that. It's more the kind of the activities. A bit if I'm not socializing with kind of I say going out, which obviously try not to do as much. But yeah, if I don't have a social side, that I want to socialize by going and playing a certain sport or yeah, just moving my body because got a bit of an ADHD personality, I'd say. So I need to be doing something. I need to be feeling something.
Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately, Will, that probably will never happen. I'll tell you what would be interesting though is
Maybe.
if you did compete again for you because you've never been coached before, have you? Like
No.
for you to, no, I'm not linking myself, coaching Lincoln by. Um, but no, what I'm saying is like potentially for you to be coached, like how you'd respond to that if you did go into a contest prep. It would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Denny, have you got any questions?
Was from Wilborn, my phone's over there,
Oh yeah,
was if you could only pick one piece of equipment, or what is your favorite brand of equipment in the gym? So
that's a tough one.
I've got my answer, and it's a pretty easy answer.
You gonna
Mine
say
would,
side?
no, mine would be Prime,
Okay.
Prime.
because pin loaded, plate loaded, there's just so much, in my opinion,
Yeah,
variation.
I like Prime. I do think some of their kit is slightly off. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Slightly off.
Yeah.
Some of it. I love a Cybex kit. Well, I don't know. I was speaking to some. I think I was speaking to one of you about this, about how Cybex and Nautilus kit is held. Like you can find stuff from like the 80s, and it's still really like we've got a Cybex row in our gym, amazing. Like, and
Yeah.
it's from like the 90s. Like,
Yeah.
how can a bit of kit like, and everyone in the gym uses this bit of equipment still. Single arm, you can flare, you can tuck your elbows. Like that, if you can have a bit of equipment that lasts that amount of time, is pretty good. So I'd go Cybex. Love a Nautilus. The Nautilus Nitro, is it? All that kit's amazing.
The Nautilus is really nice. Trying to think of my favourite. Like, if I had to pick,
Cybex Eagle. Oh yeah.
Cybex is really good, but then like if I had my own gym, I wouldn't just have one brand. I'd have like so many different brands. Like I'd
Yeah,
probably
Yeah.
have like
handpick the
three
best
chest
pieces.
presses that are all
Yeah.
different brands. Like,
Yeah.
but Nautilus is one of my favourites, but then Cybex is as well. I think
What's
because
an
I'm married to the
overrated?
Cybex hack, I'm gonna say Cybex.
You love it.
I'm literally
What's an overrated bit of equipment then?
overrated.
Just in
Apart from
general,
that,
or brand?
brand.
Overrated. Oh,
Yeah,
brand.
hammer strength.
Yeah. There are like one or two pieces that I just like, just how they move. But from an output perspective, hammer strength is just shit, because everything's just so heavy where it's not really supposed to be heavy if you want to get the most out of it.
Their
Yeah.
leg press
I
is good
mean, it's
though.
still on the old techno gym. I say overrated. They're just not rated, are they really?
Yeah, they're just shit.
I think any cheap
But yeah, really crappy.
bits are pretty.
Not all of them are good, by the way. Like
Yeah.
Atlantis, hammer strength. It's just we're snobs.
Yeah. We have the luxury of being able to pick as well,
Yeah,
because there
we've
is
got
so much in our gym.
yeah.
Literally. Yeah, I quite like the hammer strength leg press. I think that's a really good bit of kit. I think the hip press as well is really good. I actually think the majority of their leg stuff is pretty decent.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're like upper body stuff, like any of their rows, their presses, like
I
they're
don't know
so
how
heavy in the short.
some machines get it so wrong, and it's like they haven't tested it with a human being on it. Like you've got
Yeah.
one job. Like come on.
There's with hammer strength, I went to gym in Tunbridge Wells, Foundry, and their latest incline chest press. I don't think in my opinion, there's any human that fits in it well. It's so weird. Someone like it just presses weird. I got on it. I did like half a set. I was like, nope, see you later. So yeah, I don't know what they were thinking.
It's basic. I think. Like come on.
Yeah, maybe test the equipment before making more. Or maybe just get a couple of people to test it as well, not just like yourself. A lot of things I find, because I'm like 6 foot, uh, I find that it's very difficult to manipulate for me to be in it properly. And I'm like, have they literally made this for like a midget? So,
Yeah, the more that's why Prime's so good. It's so customizable. There's settings for days. Um, yeah, Cybex are normally quite good for that as well. I
Yeah,
used a tricep extension at a gym near my parents, and you could wedge yourself in, like push the pad right up against you. You couldn't move at all. It's like a roller coaster. I'm stuck in pads either side, and you're just there. And should have seen me.
Okay, I've got a question then. It's just come to my head. If we had to build a physique from the three of us on this call, what are we going with?
Definitely not my calves.
Not my calves either.
We'll take Max's quads straight off the bat.
Denny's
fair?
delts.
What's that?
Denny's delts.
Yeah, 100%.
And probably arms as well.
Probably Denny's upper body. My chest.
Your chest. Definitely
Yeah,
your chest.
I was going to say your chest. Yeah.
I'd probably take my lats, but then Denny's thickness for his erectors and his traps.
Can I have hamstring as well? It's got decent hamstrings.
You do.
Yeah.
I'll have glutes.
Well, from a side profile anyway.
So I'm just Mr. Men's Physique.
Yeah, you basically take your upper body.
If you want to grow legs, go to these two guys.
So we'll have Dan's calves, my quads, Dan's hamstrings.
Yeah.
I'd say
Dan's
my
glutes.
glutes,
Oh, okay.
Denny's erectors, Dan's
Yeah.
chest, my
Yeah.
lats, Denny's traps, Denny's delts, Denny's arms.
Midsection.
Oh, midsection's a good one.
I don't know actually.
I think, Dan, you might have that one, mate.
Got a decent midsection.
I'd have
When I'm
Denny's
lean.
obliques.
Yeah, only counts if you get lean.
Yeah, I wouldn't have
Current
my
state of affairs, use
midsection's terrible,
midsection.
so I wouldn't have mine.
Yeah, you win that one.
Yeah, Denny's obliques for sure.
To be fair, got quite a few pretty balanced.
Yeah,
As in,
that's
being
like
all right. Would be half good if we could put our body. We might actually win. I think.
You already have, mate. Just
Oh yeah, sorry.
you just didn't beat anyone. Oh, funny.
it was the ghost show.
The ghost show.
Hey, I've got a first place trophy that I've got in
Yeah.
my room.
At least,
Yeah.
at least you
It's a
stood
better
on
trophy than
stage.
any of us have got. So
Yeah,
yeah, well done,
Yeah.
mate.
That's the one. You just got to pick the shows.
yeah. So
I'm gonna
Max, let
scout
me know
out
if
for
there's
really
any
quiet
shows
shows.
that no one's going to, and I'll go to that one.
They made it even harder now, especially with UK DFBA. It's just there's no qualifiers, is there?
No.
Yeah,
It's,
so that's going to be a brutal show, mate.
Yeah.
Are you doing that?
Yeah, I'll be
Did it?
doing. So my first show is the WNBF Supernaturals, which is a British
Yeah.
finals, which is fantastic.
Nice.
And then my second show is the UK DFBA British Championships. And then it's the PCA Naturals, which is a back-to-back show on a weekend. So you have a qualifier on the Saturday, finals on the Sunday. Yeah,
You're
rough.
blitzed, mate.
I know. And then I want to do AJ's show as well.
He's going to be in his sleep, just holding a front relaxed.
Mate, I don't know how I'm going to do it because I've literally got like 3 weekends back-to-back of shows. And AJ was saying this to me, is like, you do realise you've got to scrub that tan off, like all the stress of travel and stuff, like it's going to be a lot. I said to him that I'm just not going to shower for 3 weeks and just keep the tan on throughout the whole time.
Are you taking time off work during that period?
No, I'll probably take the Monday off. I'm going to work.
Just take a Monday off.
I'll be chauffeuring you then, Max. I'll be driving you everywhere just to have a bit of stress relief. Get in the back of the
Rub
Jeep.
down.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy, mate. I don't know how I'm going to deal with it. Like I've done in 2019, I did back-to-back weekends, and to be fair, I actually came in better on the second show. So that fills me with a little bit of confidence, but I don't know if I can do it for 3 consecutive weekends. That's going to be interesting because if my skin flares up against the tan or anything like that, then it's just going to cause a really bad look. And also, like the PCA, you're going to have to put on a tan on the Saturday morning and then wash it off and then put another tan layer on the Sunday morning for the finals. That's if I qualify. Like, it's going to be nuts.
Pressure makes diamonds, Max.
Yeah.
Or
It's
it'll
going to be
kill you.
nuts. Anyway, you know, it is what it is. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
Anyway, we're approaching an hour, lads. So, Dan, grateful to have you on, mate. Do you want to just give yourself a little bit of a shout out, let people know where they can find you, and we'll go from there.
Right, if you're injured, Synergy Therapy. If you want coaching, go to Max because I'm shit. No, Daniel Marshall _Z on Instagram, and you can find anything. Send me a message, and I'll help you.
Yeah, become a rodent.
Yeah, become one of the rodents.
All right, guys.
That's a niche joke.
This has been episode 4. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. We're doing another giveaway at 100 subscribers, so make sure you get on the YouTube page and
You two got too much money.
subscribe. Yeah, we're pumping money into this. Do you know this podcast? This podcast has made it. I got a message from a podcast business mentor today. So obviously we're doing high things with our 40 subs. So yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah,
guys, thank you for listening. We'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.